Once upon a time, deep in the forests of Nagaland, in a small Sumi hamlet called Kihemvu, lived Nakuli, a young woman orphaned at a very tender age. Her parents fell victim to a strange sickness when she was just a child, leaving her stranded in a world that seemed overwhelming and unfair. With no home of her own, Nakuli was taken in by her uncle and his wife, a woman whose heart was as hard as a stone cliff. While her cousins were treated to rich food, sweet rice, tender pork, and delicious wild fruits, Nakuli was made to eat whatever remained. A handful of undercooked rice, wild leaves, discarded vegetable peels, a meal barely enough to keep her alive. The villagers whispered amongst themselves, "Poor Nakuli, orphaned and unwanted, the last leaf on a dying branch." Every day from the break of dawn until sundown, Nakuli toiled in the fields under a piercing sun or a freezing rain. She tended the paddy, fed the chickens, cleaned the shed, prepared food for everyone. Yet when it came time to eat, her plate remained nearly empty. Sometimes weak from hunger, Nakuli would sneak away to a small hut made of bamboo and hay, a hidden corner of refuge where she kept whatever meager food she could find. A few raw soybeans, a handful of roots, safely tucked away from prying eyes. This tiny hut was her sanctuary, a place where Nakuli could let her guard down, breathe, and dream of a future filled with abundance, happiness, and dignity. Inside its dimly lit interior, surrounded by her meager stores, she whispered promises to herself. "One day, I will rise above this. I will lift myself up. Not just for me, but for all the people like me." One particularly tiring day, after a back-breaking hours under the piercing rays of the sun, Nakuli fell asleep in her hut without touching her meal. The raw soybeans remained undisturbed under the thatch, sheltered from the elements and hidden from view. The next morning, when Nakuli awoke, something seemed different. As she pressed aside the woven mats and knelt to check her food, a rich, pungent aroma filled the air. An unmistakable savory smell, a smell that seemed alive. The discarded soybeans had undergone a strange transformation. The texture had softened, a rich flavor seemed to permeate each kernel, and when Nakuli tasted them, her senses came alive. It was rich, savory, deep, a flavor more wonderful than anything she'd tasted in her years of scarcity. Nakuli was astonished. Where the villagers saw worthless, discarded food, she had stumbled upon a hidden treasure. The tiny soybeans, forgotten by everyone else, had blossomed into something extraordinary. Word quickly spread through the hamlet. At first, her friends tasted it in curiosity. Then her neighbors fell in love with its rich flavor. Soon the whole community demanded it. Everyone came to Nakuli's hut, eager to buy a small bowl of this strange food. Nakuli called it Axone from the Sumi word axo, meaning smell, honoring its rich, pungent aroma. With the small profits from selling Axone, Nakuli started exchanging it for rice, oil, and handicrafts. Her small venture blossomed into a thriving enterprise. The woman who once went hungry now filled her storage with food and rich fabrics. The young orphan who seemed powerless now made decisions about her future. Nakuli used her profits wisely. She bought herself jewelry, a small herd of mithun, the majestic and valued cattle, and rich fabrics for clothing. Each piece seemed to reflect a triumph over her past struggles. Her marriage ceremony, a grand affair in the Sumi tradition, was a testament to her hard work and perseverance. On that day, Nakuli presented her own asana, her marriage fund, earned through her axone, a symbol of her independence and creativity. The villagers recognized her remarkable transformation. To this day, Sumi women who bring rich asana into marriage are honored and respected, a legacy that Nakuli started with a handful of discarded soybeans. Today, Axone is a cherished dish in Nagaland, made by fermenting soybeans to release their rich, savory flavor. Often teamed with smoked pork and chili, Axone has become a symbol of creativity, hard work, and transformation, a legacy from a young woman who turned her struggles into a rich future. As villagers celebrate their rich traditions and cuisines, Nakuli's story lives on in each plate of Axone, a powerful reminder that from the ashes of suffering, something wonderful can rise. Her legacy teaches us that true worth is not defined by birth or circumstance, but by the ability to transform adversity into opportunity. Nakuli, the orphan, the unwanted, become a legend. A woman who fed not just herself, but her whole community. Once upon a time, deep in the forests of Zunhaboto, lived Ikano, a young woman from the Sumi tribe. Ikano was blessed with a voice so pure it seemed the heavens flowed through her. Whenever she sang by the stream near her home, flowers blossomed, birds fell silent to listen, and the people believed her voice held the power to heal the soul. Ikano fell in love with Atsuto, a brave warrior from the neighboring Ao tribe. The two were from different clans, divided by rivalry and a long-standing feud. Yet their love blossomed in secret under a giant fig tree that stood on the boundary between their lands. There, under its ancient branches, Ikano and Atsuto exchanged promises. Promises to unite their people, promises to love each other against all odds. Every midnight, when the villagers fell asleep and the owls cried under purple skies, Ikano crossed the stream to meet Atsuto in the clearing. There, in the glow of the moon, the two made plans for a future where love would conquer their differences and bring peace to their tribes. But tragedy struck when a hunter from the Sumi tribe followed Ikano and discovered their midnight rendezvous. Furious and feeling betrayed, the Sumi elders demanded that Ikano sever all ties with the warrior from the enemy tribe. The villagers insisted their love was a curse, a dangerous bond threatening their traditions and unity. Ikano remained true to her vow and tried to elope with Atsuto under the cover of darkness. But the villagers were faster. A band of warriors from both tribes ambushed the couple near the giant figure. There was a showdown, swords were drawn, promises were broken, and in the chaos, Atsuto fell to a fatal blow. Ikano rushed to her dying lover's side and sang a final lament, a song filled with all the love, promises, and future they would now never share. As her tears fell upon his wounds, Atsuto whispered, "Where love grows, peace will follow. Remember me under this tree." Broken by grief, Ikano fell ill and died soon after, her soul choosing to follow her lover into the heavens. The villagers say that a purple flower, the moon heart, blossomed on the spot where their love fell. To this day, when the moon shines its brightest, the moon heart glows under the giant fig, a symbol of eternal love, tragedy, and sacrifice. The people say if you listen closely on a midnight breeze, you can hear their two voices united once more, singing their love song across the heavens, a love that death could not destroy. If you enjoyed this rich folktale from the hills of Nagaland, make sure to subscribe to Whispering Hills channel for more enchanting stories like this. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and become a part of our storytelling family. Let's keep these traditions alive, one folktale at a time. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.